the game industry in 2018 saw events that will shift the future of games, landscape-shaping trends that will evolve for years to come. Developers and studios who set the bar high, and of course, games we will never forget. Here we present around 12 other roundups to make your end-of-year game industry rounduping that much simpler. This is what the Gamasutra writing thought of 2018. Also make sure to check out the personal game of the year picks from Kris, Alex Wawro, Alissa McAloon, Kidwell, Kris, Kerr, and Bryant Francis. Thanks for reading and sharing on Gamasutra. There are a lot of games released into the market every year, and we cover this trend, this inundation of games filling the marketplace. It's a trend that complicates the chance for success and recognition. From developer to developer, from game to game, that was true as ever in 2018. But among other stuff, there has not been a real complaint about there being too many games. We get it, there are a lot of games. But no one would say there are too many games if there were not so many games that were great. There were so many games that were great in 2018. Here are the 10 games that stood out in the minds of Gamasutra this year. Selections in alphabetical order. WHENCELESTFILST came out this year. I played it for maybe a half hour, and then stopped. I just was not in the mood for yet another hard-as-hell platformer. It was not until I picked it back up at the end of the year, when I completely fell in love with it, and appreciated what it was doing. Yes, the game is difficult, but the way the story addresses that difficulty and emboldens the player to keep climbing is absolutely brilliant. Celeste shows us that we can build our own worst enemy, but that enemy is still an innate part of who we are, and having a friend or to help you realize that along the way never hurts. Mechanically, it's a simple concept for a player to understand. Jump, dash, and grab. The game masterfully introduces players to the traversal mechanics, then sprinkles in level design elements where players have to use those basic skills in noise. It all just feels perfect. Kris, Esposito is the perfect amount of video game. It's a funny, surreal story about remote control holes that is a joy to play. One that does not overstay its welcome. Alex Wawro. Before diving into where Florence is a unique experience, the developers deserve credit for making a game that's the perfect length of time, clocking in at around 2 hours. Florence tells a story about love at a great pace. The game takes the generic formula of a traditional relationship, meeting, falling in love, falling out of love, but it tells it in such a different way through effective use of simple mechanics, powerful score, and unique art style. Games without a lot of dialogue, a text need to go the extra mile to convey an engaging and emotional story effectively, and Florence absolutely nails it. No story spoilers will be given away, because it's a game that needs to be played in order to fully grasp the impact it has. Florence is made for mobile, and other short, narrative games would find themselves a great home on the platform. Mobile is confined to a very small subset of mechanics, tapping, swiping, or holding an icon on your screen. Those constraints serve as powerful storytelling tools right for innovation. The game in its entirety is made up of small, digestible vignettes of very personal and intimate moments in adult relationships where both the good and the bad are shared in a special way. Kidwell, 11-bit Studios, Frostpunk the 2018 game I could never stop thinking about. From the moment my poor survivors reached the totemic generator, sitting in the frozen Arctic North, every decision I spent with this society simulator helped me reckon with the demons of authoritarianism and how much control and lies you can tell yourself in the name of the greater good. Frostpunk's thoughtful design means that it's not just an arbitrary moral messenger here to warn you of the wills of a police state, a theocratic regime. It's crafted to guide you on a path of different paths of pain points, to remind you that just because you did not commit higher crimes against freedom, your lesser decisions still infringed on the rights of your people, and as the pressure drops, and your city is freed from the frozen snow, in a great sigh of relief, you will look at its become and see how even its physical shape was impacted by how much you did give up in the name of survival. Bryant Francis That Hitman's call drops the episodic format of that last rendition, but keeps a firm grasp on Hitman 2016's charm and quirks as it introduces just the right dose of new mechanics, new levels, and new content to the last game's already tried and true formula. Hitman 2 Axmatic is in each of the massive sandboxes that each main story mission of the game is set in, and how it gives players the freedom to take complete ownership of their plans and assassinations. Whether the steps they took to complete those objectives were laid out by the game suggested or plotted out completely from scratch, while setting up a platform for another season's worth of depth and user-made content is an impressive feat. The team at IO Interactive also remade every level, both DLC and base Season 1, from Hitman 2016 for Hitman 2. It's an undertaking that no doubt took a considerable amount of work, especially since each legacy level manages to embrace the new mechanics and idea of Hitman 2 without losing the feel of the original. Between the legacy levels and the still evolving agent versus agent multiplayer ghost mode, Hitman 2 has become a game that both builds on the successes of its predecessor without shying away from risk. Alissa McAloon. Nothing I have played conveys the sensation of snatching salvation from the jaws of failure quietly kind to the breach. There's a lot to admire about subset games' sophomore effort, but what's most striking is how often it sets up tactical problems that seem first impossible, then survivable, then solvable. It's my favorite strategy game since chess, and the remarkable follow-up after Wawro Marvel Spider-Man is just one emotional pit stop for the web-headed hero who's had a hell of a 2018. He gave his life in the film Infinity War, has reframing his own heroic origins in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and when given a shot, Insomniac Games does not waste any time when granted is one of the biggest icons in pop culture. Not only does Marvel's Spider-Man give a breath to a dizzying and dynamic traversal system that takes advantage of New York's iconic architecture, Insomniac also uses its mission design and gadget expertise to weave a narrative about the struggles of Peter Parker, and how his selfless nature and faith in other people can be used against him. But it's still not a cynical game. It's quippy, it's cute, and it gives Mary Jane Watson something to do. If superheroes are becoming the modern-day mythological heroes, it's great that Insomniac Games injects a meaningful experience in the middle of its well-honed, well-polished technical achievement. Bryant Francis Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2 excels on the merits of its smallest moments. The massive open world is an ambitious undertaking, and a space you as a player spend a considerable amount of time traversing during and between missions, and that downtime is where Red Dead Redemption 2 shines. It's captivating, or even just relaxing to just toss headphones on and exist in that world for a while. Fishing, or hunting, or tracking down small oddities hidden out in the wilderness. The same is true for the moments spent catching up with the other members of the Vandal Inn gang, catching small conversation with a friend around camp, or even just lingering among that cast of characters as they sing, drink, and celebrate after a heist well done, makes such an endearing and heartwarming experience that I cannot say I have found in other games before. It's impossible to any anti-ION Red Dead Redemption 2 here, however, without calling out some of the controversy that surrounded the game in the lead-up to its release regarding excessive crunch.